We are, and we're ready to go. Yeah, man, it's it's another week, and of course, another edition of Skip Happens. Hi, everybody. Skip Clark. That me or you?
That's me. It's showing that our Facebook Live pages have gone live.
Oh, okay. All right. I hear a ding, and I don't know if it's somebody called me. Somebody do it. Anyways, all righty. And that's what a podcast is all about. You never know what's going to happen. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Skip Clark, as I just told you. Right up there is my good friend.
Yeah. I'm going to trick you one of these days, and I'm going to be...
I know, you're going to move to me. Yeah. But I got to tell you, right over there, and you can't see my hand. Hang on.
Oh, wait.
That Mary Heather Hickman, everybody. That's who we're going to be talking to tonight. Yes, Deb, you got it.
I got
Hello.
it.
Yes.
Hi.
Perfect. Hello. I can point to you guys too. There we go.
Well, see, but with the camera thing, it's always you don't know where
it's
to
reverse.
point.
Yeah.
It's backwards. I don't know. It's all.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be on the podcast with you.
I got to tell you, when I talked to a lot of the the record people today, and a lot of people that push the music and this and that to radio, and they said, "Hey, we hear you're going to be talking to Mary Heather Hickman tonight." And I said, "Yeah." They said,
so cool.
No
way.
They said, "Watch out." So
that's true. Yeah.
they said you're going to have a ball, and absolutely, I can tell already. Just a little chit chat we had before the microphones and the cameras were on, but here we are, and it's Mary Heather Hickman. Just to get us started, where are you? Describe your surroundings a little bit.
So I am home at my apartment in Nashville, East Nashville to be particular, if anybody's familiar with the area. And yeah, I'm sitting here in this is like my favorite chair in my apartment. It's where I sit and have my coffee, where I do my writing when I'm by myself. And I've got my dog sitting by. I was telling you, I have my dog sitting on my feet right now. Maybe he'll make a little guest appearance, but
I know. Is that like the only chair in the apartment?
I have a really small apartment. I live by myself, so I have like a studio apartment. It's super small. So I have a couch, but this is like, pretty much the only. This is like the good chair that has like the sides on it where I can just curl up and sit in it. Yeah.
That's the best chair. And I can remember in my younger days and having my own apartment, and it's like I had one chair, and it was my chair. It was my favorite chair. I could cuddle up on it. I could have a pillow. I could lay down and watch TV. I could do whatever I want in that chair.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome.
Yeah, and it's pink. It's a pink chair too. So it's
cool.
It's just doubly great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a couple of friends over the other day, and like I said, my apartment, it's very small. It's big enough for me, but it's small. Right. And I had some friends over to celebrate the release of my song, and didn't really have anywhere for them to sit. So we were all kind of just sitting on the floor.
So really quick, there's pros and cons being by yourself. So do you like living by yourself, or would you rather have roommates someday?
I like living by myself because I am a late night person. Like I do a lot of my best writing by myself late at night, which is kind of annoying to roommates. So I think most people are probably glad that I'm not their roommate. And I lived with my sister for a while, and she says I'm kind of messy too. So I try not to, but probably not. I think it's better for me to live by myself.
There you go.
I know that whole messy routine.
I call it organized clutter because I know where everything is. But I mean, that was one of my New Year's resolutions this year was be more organized, and I'm trying my best.
Move the tile from one area, move it to another area. That's
exactly.
That's
it's hard when I live in such a small place. It's very easy for it to get cluttered. There's only so many places things can go. So.
I don't even know. Mary Heather Hickman. All right. Can we call you Mary? Do you want to be called Heather?
Well, actually, I go by Mary Heather, but all of my close friends, they call me MH. So you guys can call me MH.
All right, MH.
I feel like we're friends already, right?
So. Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Good friends when this is all done. The three of us.
Absolutely.
Water to us. So,
yes.
But it's so very cool that you're joining us here tonight. MH. Got to remember that. Yeah. MH.
Mm-hmm. So I'll answer to either one. Just Mary to me is have always gone by either MH or Mary Heather. So some people will call me Mary, but it's it takes a minute for me to realize that people are talking to me.
Heather, your middle name?
Yes, but it's hyphenated. So I'm from Arkansas originally, and it's like a pretty common thing to go by your first and middle name. So just, bring a little Arkansas with me wherever I go.
I would imagine when your mom and dad were really pissed at you, it was Mary Heather Hickman, you get in here right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or my mom has just like a very specific way that she'll like say my name. It'll be like Mary Heather. It's like extra emphasis on all of this.
That is a mom's tone for sure. Yes, you did that well.
Oh, I know when I'm in trouble, which is, back when I lived with my parents, it was pretty frequently.
How would you yell at one of your kids when you were married?
Oh, I'm not going to yell at my kids ever.
Well, no,
of course not.
What about you? No, never. What about you?
You know what's funny? The only kids I ever really yelled at was the boys. And I would be like, Brendan and Lewis.
You never there you go.
I lost you for a second.
Yeah,
so
you never got mad and called them by their middle name as well?
Not usually. It was just a very firm tone. So it was those boys because they were close in age. So they were always fighting and climbing and this and that. The girls were easy. Yeah. So, but
I don't know. They always
reverse it though. As they grow up, the girls are a little bit harder and the boys were easy.
That's what my mom, I'm the oldest I have two other siblings and my sister and I are only 2 years apart, but my younger brother is 8 years younger than me. So he's still he's 16 now and he still lives at home. And I'm always telling my mom, like, it's so not fair how you treat Will. He has it so much easier. He never has to tell you where he is or, I was the firstborn. So it was always like, where are you going? What time will you be home?
Plus, he's a guy.
And yes. It's just very
our daughters very closely, especially with all the crap that's been going on in the world for a long time now that, And I imagine that they worry about you living alone in Nashville as well.
Yes, they do. They thankfully I have like a good group of friends that, very, very close with my group of friends here in Nashville. So really the only time I'm by myself is like at night when I get home, which is kind of when you want to be by yourself.
Yeah, anyway. You do. You want that alone time. You
wind down from the day. Yeah.
You can't beat good alone time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Serious. And I don't have to fight with anybody about what I want to watch on TV or anything like that. I just get to come home and like wind down and watch like horrible reality TV shows that are like trash TV.
MH, how long have you been in Nashville?
So I have been here just about 3 years now. Yeah.
And you moved to Arkansas to Nashville?
I did. I actually went to college at the University of Arkansas in Fayetteville. So it was like, it was kind of important to me and also to my parents that I did go to college. That was always something that they wanted for me. And so I went to school. I had a band while I was in college as well. And that was kind of like my little side gig, my way of making money in college. And I think it was like a good way for me to like transition into moving to Nashville. I'm not sure I could have just gone straight to living in like a big city at 18. It would have been a really hard adjustment, I think. So
So you just moved there by yourself though? I
actually moved at the time with a ex-boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, but so I wasn't completely on. And you know what? I'm very thankful. Me and him, we're on good terms. Like we're friends. But I'm very, very grateful that he did move here with me because it was, it's hard to move to a new city. I literally did not know a single person in Nashville when I moved here. So, I look back at that time and like, even though it didn't work out between us, I'm very like thankful that he did move here with me. So,
So it's very hard to find a good group of friends. So how did you find yourself meeting people when did you like jump right into writers rounds and things like that?
Yeah. One of the first things that I did when I moved here was, I had always been a songwriter. I've been songwriting since I can remember. But I had never really like co-written. I didn't know anything about that. I didn't know what that process was like or how that worked. And so one of my first goals when I moved here was to like get out and meet other people to write with, because I knew that in Nashville, co-writing, it's a big part of like the culture here. And so I started doing just like little open mic rounds. There's a couple places in Nashville you can just show up and put your name on a list and get to go up on stage, and started doing that. Thankfully, a lot of those places were kind enough to ask me to come back and like play a round where I was on the roster. And just, you know, through that, I started meeting people, and ended up meeting a guy that I co-write with all the time. His name's Alex Schofield. He's a great writer as well. And then he kind of was like, it's funny because I always say like, I kind of met my whole group of friends through him. Like he introduced me to somebody else, and then that person introduced me to the next person. And so he's like my first friend in Nashville, and we're still very good friends to this day. So,
so I would assume you all have something in common, which is cool too. So everybody where each other's coming from and what have you.
Yeah. So yeah, we all just like really enjoy music. I think all of us really care about like the craft of songwriting too, which is like a cool thing to bond over. And for me, it's just such a unique experience, like living in Nashville. Cause I've never had, like, I've always kind of been the weirder person that was, you know, writing songs or like really cared about music. I never had a group of friends that cared about that. And so I feel like for honestly the first time in my life, even though I'm getting into like more of my adult years, like this is the first solid group of friends that I have that I really feel like I have like a strong place within the group. And I feel like
little family.
Very much myself, around them. Like I'm not trying to fit the mold to be in a group of friends, which is nice.
Right. Now you have the song Treasure, and picking up trash and turning it to treasure. But you know what I said before? I said to Deb, I said, this is great. And I think it's before you popped on. I said, she's got this song, picking up trash, calling it treasure.
I'm sorry. Yes. Oh no, you're good.
But I'm going, that's perfect for the Skip Happens podcast. You know what I mean? So
I love that.
It kind of goes together.
I'm glad that you guys can understand, you know.
Yes.
Some people are like, do you just hate men? I'm like, no, I don't. It's a joke.
But it's good. It's good. And to be honest,
thank you.
I think even from a guy's standpoint, they'll go, this song is good.
Yeah. I have like quite a few guys that are like totally into it, or like even they like I feel like some guys can relate too. You know, we all have, I'm sure we've all kind of dated people before that maybe weren't like the best, or you know, I think so. I've had some guys reach out and be like, you know, I totally relate to this too.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
And how did you come up with that though?
So sorry, my dog is like chewing a bone over here, so I hope you guys can't hear that. I'm gonna have to take it away from him.
No, please, because that's what I told you before. We are dog people.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yeah, well, if you hear him, he's like very aggressively like munching on one of his like chew toys over here.
Yeah. No.
But my friend and I, so my dad built like a little cabin in South Arkansas. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's one of my favorite places to go. I took a couple of my writing friends from Nashville. I was like, drive with me down to Arkansas. We'll go to my cabin in the middle of nowhere and we'll just like hang out, drink some beer and write some songs. It'll be a good time. And so I took my friend Stephanie Joyce, who wrote Treasure with me. Mm-hmm. And we were just like having a good night. I think we were drinking some margaritas, and I had gone through like a breakup at the beginning, like right when 2020 happened, like right at the start of 2020, I'd gone through this breakup. She was like asking me, she was like, are you ready to like date somebody new, or are you thinking about going out and dating new people? And I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure that I can be trusted. Like, I don't think I have the best track record. Like, I seem to not have the best like luck with guys. And we were just kind of joking. And I think the natural like songwriters in us were like, okay, there's maybe like, that's kind of funny. Maybe there's a song here. And, you know, maybe a little margarita fueled too. But we started just like naming like qualities that are like attractive in a man at first, but then like later turn out to be something that's like not so great, but like, you know, like this tall, dark and handsome guy that looks like bad news. Like that's, you know, a lot of girls are attracted to the bad boy right off the bat. So we started writing that, and then we had written like the verses first, and then we were trying to kind of think of a way to tie everything together. And I was like, what if it's picking up trash? Like, you know, we were like thinking one man's trash is another man's treasure. I was like, what if we called it like picking up trash and calling it treasure? Damn. And then we just kind of ran with that, and it turned into what it is now. Yeah.
Your life, from what I'm hearing up to this point, is a pretty awesome country song.
I see that a lot of my experiences have turned out to be good songs. I seldom have to like reach too far. Like, I mean, you know, sometimes I'll write a story song or something that's not about my life, but a lot of times there's, you know, some form of truth in my songs that's from my own experiences, which is cool.
Yeah, that's what makes a great song. Because you know, and we've said this to other artists, and if I don't say it, I know Deb's going to say it, that they have told us that, you know, the best songs come from their life experiences.
I mean,
you know, whatever, something has happened somewhere, and you go, oh my God, that's going to be a great. I can put that, you know, put it down on paper and back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's cool.
And what's kind of funny is, of course, through life, we all really have the same experiences, just different levels of them, but it's just all part of life, that natural progression. Yet there are so many songs about those parts of life. They're all different, but they're all the same. Does that make sense? So you've expressed this in such a way that nobody else has, yet we all relate to it. So.
Oh yeah. I think that's like one thing that I love about songwriting is like, you can take something like very specific, like a very specific experience, and make it like universal, which is I think like a really cool part of songwriting, is that it can be like this, you know, this is what happened to me, and like make it so that other people like totally get the same feeling, you know.
So I was thinking, something happened the other day, and I was thinking about a line, you know, because we talked to so many artists, and I'm like, wow, this could be a song. So like, let me think about writing a song. So I take this line in my head. I'm like, I can't even find a word to rhyme with the last word that would make that make sense. I don't know how you artists do it all the time. It just amazes me.
I think it's just like one of those things of like, you do it so often that you start to like, start to just like, it just like happens. Or like my friend Stephanie, I always give her a hard time because she'll like throw out words that just don't rhyme at all. She'll be like, could we rhyme like self with like wall or something? I'm like, walk me through how you're getting there. I'm just like, are you putting a certain accent on it? Like, what's happening? Also, I will say, writer's best kept secret too is like using Rhyme Zone, the website. If you're really stuck, you can always just like be like words that rhyme with you, and you know, go through the list and see if you can come up with a line that way. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I don't know what people did without Rhyme Zone.
I love it.
Yeah.
Does your so the song Picking Up Trash, Calling It Treasure, does your ex know that maybe some of that came from that whole relationship?
I think
now if he's listening, be careful.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it's like, it's more about like a collection of like bad dating experiences more than one single person, and just a little bit about it's just kind of poking fun. At the end of the day, it's poking fun at myself, and like, okay, this is like it's almost like a me problem, you know. I can do this to myself. So it's not about anybody specifically. There's probably little bits and pieces of all of my past relationships.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're young, you're at the beginning of your career, you're writing songs like that. And that's not the only one. There was another one I was listening to. It was with a pickup truck.
Someone else's truck. Yes.
Someone else's truck. And
Yeah.
kind of, I'm going, okay.
Yeah. I put that one out about like, it's funny that because I put a couple songs out maybe like 4 or 5 years ago before I ever even moved to Nashville. And I did not know anything about like what process you kind of need to go through to release a song. So I just kind of picked a random day and I was like, this is the day I'm going to put the songs up and see what happens. And didn't know a lot about how to market those. And so they didn't do much, but it's funny because like I've noticed ever since like Treasure has kind of picked up some traction. People are going back and listening to some of those older songs and really identifying with those as well, which has been really cool. So that's exciting.
Now you said you went to college in Fayetteville.
I did. Woo Pig Suey.
Love it. You majored in communications?
I did. Yeah. I actually started off as broadcast journalism. I thought I was going to be like a news person. I've always been really into like journalism, and I think maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's a lot of writing as well. But I started my band. That started taking up a lot more time. And with broadcast journalism, you know, when you're trying to go for that degree, you have to it's like a lot of extracurricular activities, and music just kind of took over as my main passion. And I decided that when I graduated, that's what I was going to pursue. And so I switched over to communication because I figured I'm going to probably be communicating somehow.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, here we are communicating. So I guess it worked out okay.
And you're doing a great job too. Have you worked in a radio station at all, part of your curriculum or anything?
No, but I always thought that would be something that I would be interested in. I really like I graduated in, I did like a winter graduation. I graduated in December, and then immediately like January 1st, I think was when I packed my stuff and moved to Nashville. So there wasn't really any gap between graduating college and starting like on my singing career and on my artist and songwriting career. I was like, I'm just going to go all in and see what happens. So
that's how you have to do it sometimes. I do have
a degree, but I'm definitely hoping that songwriting and music is where I continue to work. So although I will say I did when I was in college, I did do an internship at the Academy of Country Music Awards. Like I got to go and like drive people around in golf carts, and I was like, I don't know what this career could be, but it would be fun. I like doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you drive anybody around of any famous people?
I think I got to drive. I'm pretty sure I drove Carrie Underwood, which was super cool. I mean, you try not to be like too much of a fan person since you're, supposed to be the one that's like transporting them places. And then I know I met like Lauren Elena. Pretty sure I met Brandy Clark too, which is amazing because she's one of my songwriting heroes. Awesome. Yeah. Absolutely. I got to meet quite a few people while I was doing that, in a very low key way, because I'm trying not to freak out, but it's definitely hard because some of those people are my heroes.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be like, here, can you write down where you want to go and also sign the bottom of it?
Yeah. Can you also just like sign this? There's definitely temptation to do that.
I know. And that always happens though. It doesn't matter how famous you get, but you're always going to have that special somebody in your mind where it's like, oh my God, that's so-and-so, or I'd love to get that autograph, or I want to get taken with them.
It's funny. My friends always give me a hard time because I have a hard, like there's certain people that I would recognize, but I think it's funny because I live in Nashville where obviously there are quite a few like famous country musicians, and they are out and about. They'll be at the bars or at the restaurants that you're at, but like something in my head just doesn't register that is like, I'm always like, why would they be here? It's not like I don't think that. For some reason, it just doesn't click. And so I always don't recognize people. And my friends always give me a hard time. They're like, you don't know who that is? I'm like, no, tell me who that is.
Well, they're out of their element.
Yes. I'm like, I also think so much now, like, we used to watch like music videos and those kind of things. And so people were a lot more recognizable. And I think now I would probably recognize someone from their voice more than their face.
That's true.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Tom Langmeyer, who's watching this here tonight. Tom is a real big radio guy. And
awesome.
back in the day, Tom is awesome. And I remember when he worked here in Syracuse, and all due respect, the guy's just phenomenal.
That's amazing. I see that he said he likes Treasure, and that means a lot.
He knows.
Thank you, Tom.
From him, a lot. And a big shout out to Marty, who's watching this as well. That's what I can see on my end. But tell us, is there somebody though that you would be really like, if you had a chance to, let me put it this way: if you had a chance to go sit down with a female artist, anybody, who would that be?
Probably Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton. Yeah.
We're gonna start a score sheet.
I know it.
That's what everybody said. I just think she just seems so like down to earth and humble. And I think she has like, it's crazy because she's so successful, but she still is like so kind. She does so many good things with her success, and she's all about helping other people. And that's like truly what I aspire to be. And so I would just like love to sit down with her and hear her talk. Like
I gotta tell you, every single female artist that Deb and I have spoken to, and we asked that question, one of us would ask that.
I think
Dolly was the answer.
She's just so cool. She's like, she just seems like she'd be the most fun person to hang out. I'd also love to meet like Casey Musgraves. I think she's really cool too. I mean, there's a lot of female artists. Like Haley Witters is another one. I don't know if y'all have heard her latest album, but I think she's doing something really cool in music. So there's a lot of people I would love to meet. But if I had to like pick one, it would be Dolly Parton.
Okay, let's go on the male side of things. If there's a male artist that you'd love to sit down and pick their brain a little bit.
Jason Isbell, probably. Just because I think he's such a talented songwriter, and I just want to like hear what his process is. You know, he's won like tons of Grammys. He's just everything he writes just sounds, he can take like the simplest thing and make it sound so poetic and beautiful. And I'd love to talk to him. I also love to, I don't know, he's one of my heroes. I would love to talk to Johnny Cash if he was still here. I think especially with him being an Arkansas person as well, I think that would be a cool, like common bond that we share.
Yes.
I'd love to meet him. Obviously that's not possible. Willie Nelson is another huge one on my list. Would love to meet him someday too.
To go for a ride on Willie's bus.
Oh, nice. I'm not sure I would emerge the same, but
no, probably not the same person that I went on as, but
I've gotten to meet. And there's a few like artists that I've gotten to meet that have given me great advice. A couple years back, I got to open for Hank Jr. and he's a character, but he gave me some really good advice about the music business in Nashville, and super cool guy. So I've been lucky to actually get some advice from people.
I can imagine what that advice was coming from him.
Yeah, you probably can.
As he was very independent and he had his own way of thinking, and it may not have been the correct way to think.
Yeah, not always, but that's kind of what he told me is like, just, be authentic and be yourself and don't worry so much about like the business side of things. And I think that is one thing I've tried to carry into my career is like, I want to be the person that is like setting the trend, not trying to follow the current trend. That's what I hope to do. So I hope that I do that. I don't know.
I love it.
Thank you.
That you will.
I was waiting
to see
Deb. I saw Deb's head moving. I thought she might have had a question.
Oh yeah. No. I was absorbing that, but I admire when an artist, you have said exactly that. You want to start a new trend. So that puts that uniqueness into you, and if you set an example and you're a good role model and you're starting something new,
I think it's also it's very much harder to be like, have a career that you're happy with and fulfilling if you are like trying to chase something because you think it's what people want to hear. Which I feel very lucky that I have written songs that are very authentic to who I am and things that I want to say. And people seem to be resonating with people. So I feel very lucky about that. But
Absolutely.
I'm also very happy that it's not ingenuine, you know?
Mhm.
Right. It's the real you.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Who else have you opened up for?
There's been a few cool. I've had a few cool people I got to open up for. I've opened for Eli Young Band twice. They are super nice guys. Hank Jr., Toby Keith. Trying to think who else. Kelly Pickler.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I've played a couple of festivals where, you know, I've gotten to be on the same bill as like Dwight Yoakam. That was a really cool one. I didn't get to open for him or anything, but just to be like on a paper with his name on it is always a good. Yeah.
Do you have all these framed? I hope you save all of these.
I have most of them like stored away. I have one that's framed in my apartment. Actually the Dwight Yoakam one. It's a special one because I played on this like tiny little stage. It's called El Dorado Music Fest. It's in my hometown in El Dorado, Arkansas. And it was when I was just starting out, like had never really played any shows anywhere. And the guy that booked the festival really just believed in me and gave me a chance, and then invited me back several times. And every time I got to play on like a bigger stage, which was cool. And then, you know, he's the one that also let me open for some of those big people. So my name is very, very small on the bottom of the poster, but it's a special one to me because it's kind of like the first. Yes.
Climbing up. Every year you're going to be up a notch, and then there'll be people under you. How cool would that be?
I know, and I like to have that one to keep me humble, you know? Like my name's so small on the bottom, it's just a good reminder of where I came from. So.
Like what Deb is saying, it'll seem like the font will get bigger every year.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm lucky that I'm kind of bumped up a few spots already. I'm not quite so small, but it was definitely nice for them to even let me come and play. So
I think Treasure's going to help boost that up.
Thank you.
Tell me about season 6 of The Voice.
Yeah, I had a really good experience on The Voice. It was a weird time because I had just graduated from high school, and I went and did this like open call audition in Austin, Texas. You know, those cattle calls where you line up and they have you sing one by one. And I went and I sang, and they pushed me through to like the next audition, and kept like, I mean, if you know about these shows, there's like several sets of auditions before you actually get to be on the show.
Right.
And so actually did like an executive callback in Los Angeles, and then they let me know that I was like officially cast on season 6. And then I got to actually go and audition in front of the judges. There was only one spot left. It was on Shakira's team. I sang Suds in the Bucket by Sarah Evans.
Great song.
It's a very country song.
Yes,
and I don't think it was really like Shakira's vibe. So she didn't turn around. Everybody else had all their spots full, unfortunately. But I got some great feedback from like Blake Shelton and Adam Levine. And Shakira even, she was super, super nice. And even though I didn't like make it onto the like next round, I was very proud of myself for going out of my comfort zone and doing something that was kind of scary at the time. And honestly, I think it's kind of what deterred, like what changed the course of my life, because I was heading into college. I was, you know, I always loved singing, but I don't know if that I had the belief in myself that it was going to be something I could make a career out of. And it kind of gave me that validation that it was possible. And so I have nothing but good things to say about everybody at The Voice. I think it was a really good experience. So
that gave you some confidence.
Yeah, totally. And like, and it's also helps that they were just all like super nice. Like Shakira was just like, you know, I'm not really looking for a country singer. She already had one other country singer on her team, which happened to be one of my good friends on The Voice. So I was very happy for her. But they were all very, very supportive and encouraged me to keep at it. So it was a good experience.
So if somebody wanted to go back, and because we've seen people come back again on these shows. So if you wanted to go back, do you have to be invited back, or do you go through the whole audition process again?
I think normally they do invite you back. At one point I was talking to some of the producers about possibly going back and doing another audition, but it is like a long process. I think I was in Los Angeles for like a little under 2 months when I was filming, and that was during school. Like I was doing college work while I was there, trying to balance everything. And so the next year I was kind of just like
burnt out, really.
Not sure that it was something that I wanted to do. It was like I said, it was a great experience. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I think it definitely helped me grow as an artist. And and now that I'm older and have like I'm not doing college anymore, I think I would definitely be open to it again. But at the time I was just kind of like ready to do the next thing. So
tell us about the Sinners.
So that was my college band. I had a band called Mary Heather and the Sinners. And that was, like I said, that was how I like made my extra money in college. There's a strip of bars in Fayetteville, Arkansas on this street called Dixon Street. And there's like tons of live music every single night. There's some great venues there that I still will occasionally go back to this day and play. But yeah, I was actually working at this like restaurant in college. I was bartending, and this guy came in, and he was like, I think he was trying to sell advertisements or like TV spots or something, or maybe he might have worked for a radio station. And we just kind of got to talking. He was the only person. I'm a talker. My friends always say I could talk to a wall. Like I'm like, I can talk to anyone. And so he was the only person in the restaurant. I was bored. We were chatting, and he told me that his daughter was a singer. And I said, oh, no way, I'm a singer too. Like I write songs. And he was like, are you like trying to be in a band or anything? And he said, I have a really good friend that they're looking for a lead singer for their band. And I say, yeah, I'd definitely be interested. And so his friend Scott, he's super interesting guy. He used to be the attorney for the University of Arkansas, like the general attorney and everything. He has a very interesting life. Sometimes I say he has a double life because he has his like business persona and then his like drummer persona. Yeah. But we got together and clicked super well. And they were great. Again, I think all of this stuff was very pivotal in building me up to the point where I felt like Nashville was the next move. So very thankful.
Was that all country, or did you guys get it?
We did country, and we kind of started off as a cover band. We did a few of my originals, but with playing on the bar street, most people want to hear covers. And so, and that was like, for me, it was really good because it helped me. I'm not like a natural, I love being on stage, but I, at the time, kind of probably struggled a little bit with just being comfortable up on stage and moving around and all that. And, so we started doing covers, and then gradually started adding in more of my original songs, and those started kind of doing really well, and people would actually come in and request certain original songs. And so towards the end, like when I was in this band for like pretty much all 4 years. And then for a while when I lived in Nashville, I was still going back and doing a few shows a year with them. But yeah, people started requesting like more of my original songs, or they had heard songs on my Spotify or whatever. And so towards the end, we had kind of transitioned to mostly originals with maybe like 1 or 2 covers in there. But it was like, I love that band and have nothing but great things to say about all of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
The name, The Sinners.
Yeah. It was I kind of have that, like, my songs are a little gritty. They're a little, it fits. So
yes, just like fits.
Yes. I love that.
And so cool.
Thank you.
I'm thinking about everything that you're doing and how all that fits you. I mean, the band, The Sinners, and the song Treasure, and Somebody's Truck, and all. It's just amazing.
Thank you.
Have you heard your music on the radio?
Yes. So actually, if anybody goes to my Instagram, I just posted a video yesterday because there's a show called I Heart Women of Country. It's like a Bobby Bones show. And they played it they played Treasure on there on Sunday night. And it was my first time. Like, I know Treasure has been played on a couple radio stations already, but none that were local to me where I could go and hear it.
Yes.
So my co-writer, Stephanie Joyce, and I got in my car on Sunday night and we drove around and we waited for it to play. And then when we heard it for the first time, I got a little emotional. So
that's why
it was kind of a crazy moment. And it's one of those things that just feels very validating, you know, like you're like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. And this is kind of the beginning of it.
Keep driving around the block until it came on.
Well, we knew, so they sent us like a playlist. Like there was it's like a set list that they do it every Sunday. It's really cool. And they feature all women artists for a whole hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So we knew that I was once they started going down the list, we saw that it was in order. So we pulled over when they were like playing the song before mine, just because, I mean, I was trying not to get in a car accident from my excitement. So
that's the best.
Yes, but it was a super, super cool feeling. If anybody is interested in seeing my reaction, I posted a video on my TikTok and on my Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how active are you on TikTok? Quite a bit.
Pretty active. I have about 200,000 followers on there now, which is insane. I just can't even believe it. And I have like a very great supportive community of people that are not only interested in my music, but also just interested in like me as a person. So I'll get on there. And we do a lot of like live stuff like this, where I'll just get on and answer questions for an hour, or, you know, play whatever songs they want to hear, play new songs that they haven't heard. So I post pretty frequently on there. It's kind of a new thing for me because social media is definitely the thing that I love being an artist, but social media is something I struggle with because I'm always thinking like nobody cares what I'm doing. You know, it's like, you're like, does anybody really care what I got up and like had for breakfast? I don't think so, but apparently people do. So yeah,
well, we totally care about your music and all that. Yes, I do have that same feeling. It's like, I'd love to see what people are posting and what's going on, but as soon as I see, this is what I had at the restaurant today, scroll. I mean, I know
that's how I am too. But then it's like, I mean, I guess people do. I mean, not really the breakfast thing, but I mean, I'll have people that do want to know, like, what is a typical day for you like? Like, what is it like when you go into a write and co-write with people? So I try to be like very open about that. But it's definitely something that I have to work at because I always forget to post.
Don't you think social media? Do you think, I almost feel like it's that necessary evil now because it is time consuming and you do.
It is, and it takes a lot. I don't know. It's something I kind of like struggle with. I feel like I'm probably one of those people that if this wasn't the career that I was doing, I probably wouldn't have social media.
I like to hear that.
It's really not my favorite thing. And I think sometimes it can be kind of like not something that's a good thing. But I feel like I found a way to make it work for me that doesn't feel like
good
bad. So that's what I've always said. I'm like, if I can find a way that it works for me, then I think it's okay. So I try to limit my time on there and you know, just post and get off and not sit there and scroll too long. But
use it to your advantage. I mean, getting your talent there.
Yeah, and with TikTok, it's like it's I really can't complain because it has allowed me to reach so many people that maybe would have never heard me or my music. And now I have like a very great, solid community of people that are interested anytime I put something out. So that's exciting as well.
Absolutely. The pandemic, that must have really just been a pain in the ass for you in one way. And good in it.
Yeah. So. Yeah. It's been a weird year for sure. In many ways, there's been positives because like I feel like I've very much been able to like hone into my writing. I've put a lot of focus on writing this year, and even writing by myself, which I told you guys I started out doing that before I moved to Nashville. I pretty much exclusively wrote by myself. But I think when you get into the daily grind of Nashville, that kind of sometimes goes on the back burner because co-writes become more and more common. But during the first couple months of quarantine, wasn't co-writing as much. And so I was really just like able to sit down with my guitar or my piano or whatever and just get back to, get back in the groove of writing on my own, which was nice. And then also, I've made Zoom writing and all of that work. And yeah, the thing that's been the most weird is just not playing very many shows because I do love going out and playing music for people and have not really been able to do that this year. So hoping we can get back to that soon, especially with Treasure coming out. I'd love to play it live. So,
and we, if we weren't doing this, I'm sure you'd be on a radio tour and we'd be doing this in person.
Yeah, I will. That'd be so fun.
That would be fun. But the pandemic has forced us to do it this way. And we've picked up with the Skip Happens podcast. We're having the artists down all the time. It's almost as good as a radio visit, but maybe not quite, but almost.
Right. Yeah. Nothing. No, I feel like it's definitely, it's still great. We still get to talk in person and it's just a different way of doing things, but it works. So
it does work. And if you're watching this, you can see maryheatherhickman.com. It's right below her. And highly recommend that you check out the website and listen to the music because Treasure, you're going to love Treasure. I'm just saying, you're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Definitely check that out. There was something else I was going to ask you and I just had a brain fart.
Oh, you're good.
Actually, one of my dogs started barking and it kind of threw me. I don't know.
Threw you off.
But
mine stopped chewing his bone loudly at least. So that's good.
I love it. What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I love cooking. It's one of my favorite things. My grandma and my mom are both really good cooks. And so I've kind of learned from them. And I love trying out new recipes. I love hiking. It's one of my favorite. Well, I don't want to say hiking. It's not like I'm a Mount Everest hiker or that serious, but we've got some really beautiful places to go and hike here in Nashville. I love doing that, getting outside with my dog. And I like reading. I'm trying to think of things other than music. Music does take up so much of my time, but those are some things I like to do when I'm not doing music. So
do you sports, any sports at all? I know you said.
Oh yeah, I love sports. I'm a huge Dallas Cowboys fan. Y'all probably aren't.
All right.
So yeah, I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. Big Razorback fan, obviously, being from University of Arkansas. Actually got to sing the national anthem at the Razorback game a couple weekends ago in Fayetteville, which was super cool. I was actually the first person this whole season to do a live performance. So that was a big honor for them to ask me to do that.
I was reading that online. And I said, wow, what an opportunity.
Yeah. And then I got to stay and watch the game, which was fun too, because I love to watch basketball. It's a little easier for me to football has so many rules and I get the general gist of football, but sometimes I have to ask my dad or my brother, I'm like, why did they get a flag? I'm confused. What happened? So
sounds like me. I have a family full of
sports. My brother's stop talking. Leave me alone.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Where do you like to go and when you go out to eat in Nashville? Where do you
there's a lot of good places here to eat. One of my favorite places that I've been, now this is pretty touristy, but
it's okay.
White Limousine is it's this new Dolly Parton themed bar and restaurant, and it's super cute. So it's one of my favorites. And then there's just some really good local places here, especially in East Nashville.
Okay.
One of my favorite places in East Nashville is this place called Moss Tacos. It's I'm from Texas, so I grew up from Arkansas, grew up kind of in Texas. So I love Tex-Mex and authentic Mexican food. And it's just this little hole in the wall place, but they have some of the best tacos that you can get in Nashville. So if anybody visits, I always recommend that you go there, but they're cash only. So you got to make sure you have cash on you.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I don't carry cash. It's always my card. Everything.
I know. I always have to remember when I'm going or to stop at the ATM, but it's worth it. I promise. Absolutely. They're really good.
I see a note on here from Gordy. It says, I'd like to know what the Crappie Expo is? She played there.
So, okay, it's actually it's the Crappie Expo. It's a fishing tournament. So they fish for crappie, and yeah, one of my like first sponsors ever from like when I was literally just starting out is Wally Marshall, aka Mr. Crappie, and he has always been he's from Texas, and he's always been super supportive of my music. Mm-hmm. So he like always asked me to come and play at they do like a big tournament every single year, and it's like and then they do a fishing expo. So they'll have like boats and different, expositions. I don't know a ton about fishing, to be honest, but there's always a good crowd there, and they bring in a big stage, and I've played the last two, so I'll probably do the next one too. So 2021 Crappie Expo, I'll probably be back.
Yeah, no, it's a gig. Why not?
Oh, absolutely. And it's fun. Honestly, it's really fun. And like I said, don't know much about fishing, but I love a good expo. I love walking around and seeing all the booths, and the fishing tournament is exciting. They catch huge fish. It's like $100,000 prize or something. I don't know, something crazy like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. So anyways, this has been great. We get to know you a little bit. Thank you for taking the time to join us here on Skip Happens tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was great to get to chat with you guys and meet you, and yeah.
Well, this is what we do. This is what Skip Happens is all about. We bring the artists to our viewers and our listeners, and Deb's got the Country Music Fan Club, and she streams this on her page. You're getting a lot of new fans. We asked them to go to your website. If you got merchandise on there, we hope they will, at least purchase something to support you, especially right now with the pandemic and all that. I mean, obviously you got to pay your bills.
Yeah.
So, that's one thing they don't let go. So
yeah, unfortunately not.
So it's been great. What do you see in the future for you?
So I have a bunch of songs that I have recorded over throughout 2020 that I am planning on releasing. The next song that's going to be coming out is one called Washita River. Which is cool because where I'm from in Arkansas is like right on the Washita River. It's kind of a story song though. It's about a girl it's kind of like got some Goodbye Earl vibes, if you know the Dixie Chicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. I like it.
So that's the next one that's coming out. Not exactly sure when that's coming out yet. Probably April or May, depending on what we do with Treasure and radio and all of that. And then I will be continuing to release. I have at least 5 or 6 songs lined up to release in the next year and a half. So, and then probably we'll put out like a full EP at some point as well. So people can be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. Well, it's so good to have your music out there. And I love your style and your whole attitude towards it. It's a little bit different for a female artist. And
Thank you. Appreciate that.
It's rough and tough. And it's just something about it. I don't even know if that's the right way to describe it.
I mean, people say I'm a little gritty. I'm definitely not the picture perfect.
I don't think we want
clean.
That.
Yeah.
We don't want.
But I couldn't be that if I tried. So I just don't try.
You sound great. You're very pretty.
Thanks.
You've got the whole package to be a star.
I appreciate that so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I hope to see you on the road, and I hope to see you once they start touring again, and maybe somebody will bring you on board as an opening act. And I could see you doing that with some of these big shows. I would love to. Yeah, that would be amazing. I just want to get out and meet people. I'm ready to get out and see people again and connect with them in a real life way. Do I drive a truck? Yeah.
No, I didn't. The only reason though, I would love to, it's just, I do so much traveling, the gas.
Oh, yeah.
But back when I was, doing so many shows, I drive like a little Volkswagen Jetta because it's a lot cheaper on gas. So, but I would love to have a truck someday. Probably like an older truck though, not a new one.
Yeah.
Although my parents would say that I shouldn't be allowed. I'm not the best driver. So.
Uh-oh. Another one
I'm
on
like
the road.
known to like tap things sometimes and hit curbs. So
What did I hear? Where'd that dent come from?
Yeah, that's what my dad's like, did you know you have this dent on your car? I'm like, no, I had no idea. I don't know what happened. Like somebody must have hit me because there's no way that was me.
Of course you didn't do it.
Right.
Exactly.
Do you have any shows lined up? I know Nashville's open now, so you're playing.
Yeah, I've been playing
locally,
a few.
right?
I've been playing a few little writers rounds here and there. I have some stuff in the works, but nothing that I have confirmed yet. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what I'm doing with Treasure and potential radio stuff. So, but check my website because at any time that I confirm a show, I always update it on there. So,
okay.
I know Deb's going to be there. Deb's got a business trip in April.
April for the ACMs.
Cool. Very
We'll be out
cool.
there working with
That's
the ACMs.
super exciting.
So,
well,
I haven't been there.
Nashville.
I'm so excited because I miss it there because we've only with all of this going on.
The dog is making an appearance.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, I love it.
At the very end, he's gonna try to give me a kiss.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Dog people. I think that's so awesome.
Thanks. He's like, Mom, why are you're talking? Like, why aren't you petting me?
So that was going to be one of my questions. What would your dog say about you? And that would be,
I think he'd be like, why are you like singing? He'd probably be like, why are you up at 2 a.m. singing all the time?
See, you wonder what they wonder, right?
I know. I think he's very close to me, especially because, like I said, I do live by myself. So I've had him for 6 years. I got him when I was in college. And yeah, I think he would say good things. I'm pretty good to him. I take him on a walk every single day. Oh, I should be careful when I say walk.
Yeah, they know those words. Walk.
Yes, he's looking at. He has his paw on my leg now because he heard me say the words. He knows he has a few words that he knows exactly what they mean. But I think he would say good things about me. I hope.
Again, MH.
What was that?
What's his name?
His name is Cash, like Johnny Cash. Yeah.
Nice.
Cash,
you hear? Cash? Oh my gosh. He's like, I'm getting in the frame. He's like, it's about me now.
We love it.
He's big. He's like, he's almost 90 pounds. So.
Oh my gosh. Probably more than you do. Oh my Lord.
I'm very lucky that he's well behaved on the leash because he could definitely if he wasn't, he would be dragging me.
Yeah.
So
you use like a gentle leader with him, or it's
he's kind of, he's getting older too. He's he's gonna turn 7 this year.
Oh, it's not
so bad. he's very relaxed. He's always had a very relaxed temperament. But yeah, I could probably let him off the leash and he would just follow behind me. I don't because I live in a city and don't want him to get hit by a car or anything, but yeah, he's when we're out in the country, I let him off the leash and he just walks beside me. We're very close bond.
Well, Deb and I want to take a moment to thank you for being with us here tonight, MH.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everybody, make sure you check her out online. Check out the website, listen to the music. There's no doubt in my mind you're gonna love it. You're gonna love the music. And the thing is, there's so many great female artists out there that need to be heard. I
agree. There's so many coming up right now too that are doing very unique and cool things, which is something to definitely be celebrated.
And what I like, and I think Deb would agree, is that you're an independent artist and you're doing it your own way. You make decisions. It's you. It's MH. It's Mary Heather Hickman making the decision for Mary Heather.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel very lucky to be in that position. I think, obviously, I think a lot of people want a deal, and I'm not saying that that's not something that I want, but there's definitely upsides to being the one that is in control and being able to make the decisions and being able to release songs when you want to and that. So there's definitely pros to being an independent artist, especially with social media and the way we are able to release things on our own now, which is nice.
And I would say you got a great team behind you because I talk to them quite often. You've picked a very good team. These people do it right. They know.
I feel like I definitely trust them and I trust their opinions, which is nice. It's so nice to have people that I can like sound things off of and get great feedback from. So
and they're honest.
Yes, absolutely.
They'll tell you if you're great. I mean, and they're completely honest, and they wouldn't take you on board if they didn't believe in you.
I get such a good feeling of like enthusiasm, which is what you want from, you know, a team around you. You want people that are excited about what you're doing. And I feel very, very lucky to have that from them. So
yes. Just before we let you go, I don't know, Deb, if you have a couple of questions there on top of what you already asked, but I know the dog one, but we always ask a couple of questions, get a couple of quick answers.
And, get a little bit more about you
here. That's
okay. What's your favorite karaoke go-to song?
Goodbye Earl, hands down. Every time. My friends always say I do the shoulders, like when the Marianne and Wanda, they're like, oh God, Mary Heather's coming in with the shoulders, like
now
ready to go. It's especially when I have a little bit to drink. It's my go-to.
Do you put that into your sets when you're performing? Do you try to throw that in there?
I have before. Yeah, I have at certain times.
Because it is a fun song. I mean, it definitely gets the girls going.
I grew up on listening to, well, they're now the Chicks, but I grew up listening to them, and they were one of my biggest inspirations. So I always do at least one Dixie Chick song when I do like a full band thing. That's a couple, that's not just originals. So
love it.
Very nice. Do you remember what your last dream was about?
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh.
I almost was going to say, what'd you dream about last night? But then I'm thinking, I don't always remember what I dreamt about last night.
I have a weird, like, recurring dream which is like, this is like, I don't know what this says about me, but like that I'm getting chased by like wolves in my neighborhood, like in my old neighborhood in Texas where I grew up. Wow. And like my whole family is like getting in the car and I'm like trying to catch up to the car and I can't catch up. I don't know what that says about like my inner anxieties and things, but it is, I've had the dream multiple times. So
you might be able to look that up. You might be able to.
I know. I need to get like somebody to interpret that for me because it's a recurring nightmare, and I always wake up and I'm like heart's beating and
like, oh my God, I'm really here. That was a dream. I've done that before.
It comes out in times of like stress. I feel like so. I don't know.
It could be if you have a stressful time coming up. Or
something. Yeah. When I have a lot going on, or if I'm not getting a lot of sleep, it's one of those things that comes out.
Wow.
Like woken up really quick thinking it's a work day and it's not really a work day, or I did that.
The worst thing that I will do is I'll have a dream because when I was in college, like my last semester, I had I was a communication major, so most of my like I didn't have a lot of exams. A lot of it was just like 10-page papers due for like the final grade of the class, and so sometimes I'll have dreams that I have like I'll wake up and I'll actually think that I have a paper due, even though I've graduated in 2018. So it's been quite a while since I've been out of college, and sometimes I still wake up in a panic. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't finish my paper.
Oh my gosh.
Sunday morning, I woke up, it had to be a little before 6, flew out of bed because I knew I needed to do something. It was actually early in the morning on Monday that I needed to do this. But I thought Sunday was Monday. My wife said that I flew out of bed. The dogs were looking at me like, where are you going? I'm like, oh my God, I started to get dressed and everything. And then my wife was like, honey,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? It's Sunday. What are you doing? Sunday, it's 6 a.m. What are you doing? So,
I've definitely done that on a weekend before too. I've been like, oh my gosh, like
it was weird though.
Or you wake up, like reminds me of when you like wake up as a kid and be like, oh my gosh, I have to get ready for school. And it's like, it's Saturday.
So it was a weird feeling. My heart was racing and everything. Yeah. God, what day? I had no idea even what day it was. I was just.
You just had the impending feeling that you needed to be somewhere.
Yep. And skip happens.
Skip happens.
One more.
When you were a kid, you never, or when I was a kid, I never blank. Is there something that you never did that maybe the other kids did do?
That's hard.
I never. That is a hard one. I like that though. It's a unique question. I would say I never hung out. This is like middle school thing. I never like a lot of my friends hung out at the mall, and I never got my parents wouldn't let me go.
See, isn't that there is something you never got to do? There are things out there.
Not without a parent. My parent, like you know, my parents. I was the firstborn, so they were like strict on me.
That's a good parent, though. I did the same thing to my firstborn.
I totally understandable for sure. And honestly, I think probably the stores at the mall didn't appreciate like a bunch of 12-year-olds just loitering around the mall either. So
well, nowadays
I was jealous. I was like, Mom, like all my friends are going. You know, you'd be meeting like cute boys or something, and I'm just like, my mom's like, you're not going. Sorry.
Good mom.
They don't let you in the mall. I know here in Syracuse, the big mall that we have, I believe you can't go in unless you've got a parent with you. You can't go in under the age of 18.
I'm not surprised that they like some places would make that a rule. Cause like, I know that was, I mean, I don't know if that's my generation but like all that was like what everybody did on the weekends and nobody had any money to spend. Like, it's not like people were going to the mall and like shopping. Like it was just hanging out in the food court or whatever. So
meeting girls.
I can see why they wouldn't want that.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
All right, MH, you're awesome. And
thanks, guys. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Chatting with you and getting to know you a little bit. I feel like we've known you forever.
I know y'all are very easy to talk to and y'all have great questions too.
That's what we do. And we always we find out about the artist and just kind of prove to everybody else that you're just like the rest of us. But something that you love, you're chasing your dream, and I do what I love, and I'm chasing my dream, you know, with this. So it's
so awesome.
It is so awesome. It's awesome all the way around. Thank you for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight. Make sure you check out the Country Music Fan Club, their Facebook page. You like them? Well, Deb can explain.
Go to the official CMFC and like our page when you get a chance. We'll follow you back if they haven't done it already. Might have a team that's really good with that. And this way, when you do put out music, you put out posts, whatever, we'll share that with your new fans of the Country Music Fan Club. And we're on Instagram too. So
I do follow you guys on Instagram.
Okay. So we'll definitely get when you have your new music out, New Music Fridays, every week they're posting. So we'll definitely get your information out there.
Yep. One fan at a time. Just
yes, that's awesome. That's what it's all about, you know?
You gotta love it. And Gordy says another great guest, Skip. See? They love
thanks, Gordy.
Gordy's awesome. Gordy follows us all the time. Whenever we're on, he's there. Said he was a little bit late tonight, but you know, things.
But he made it.
But all right, MH, Mary Heather Hickman, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to sign off. God bless you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Wear your mask. How many masks?
Absolutely.
How many masks?
I have so many. I probably have at least like 25. I don't know, but ironically, like I always forget to like wash. So then when I'm going to look for one,
you got to find a clean one. I know.
Find that have like makeup on it or something. Yeah.
Totally.
But I have a lot, and I think I'm getting the vaccine soon, which I'm super excited about.
Oh, so, awesome. I actually get my second shot this weekend.
Oh, that's amazing.
New York, we're in pretty good shape in New York.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, our quarantine gets lifted in April 1st.
Oh, that's amazing. I hope I get to make it up to New York sometime soon. I've never been to Syracuse, but
we're fun.
But I've been to the city.
Time for you to get your ass.
It's kind of far from me. I know. I need to come.
And I'll tell you what, we'll put you in front of some listeners and we'll do a show. We put the shows together. We have a lot of fun.
I would love that so much.
We will definitely have a lot of fun. Mary Heather Hickman, thank you again for joining us here tonight. Hold on the line, and thank you everybody for watching. Make sure you check out the website at maryheatherhickman.com, and make sure while you're online, you go to YouTube and give Skip Happens a like, a subscribe.
Yes.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Guys.
Good night, everyone.